Okay, so I'm going to do the dart sample, and we're going to review sewing a regular straight dart, and then also I'll show you how to do the curved darts. So what you want to do is take your fabric, fold it in half, and make a crease. From that crease, you're going to go a 1/2 inch over at the top, 4 inches down, and chalk in your line. You're going to do that in 3 places. You're also going to take this after you fold it in half, then fold it in half again, and then go ahead and chalk in 3 regular straight darts. Then let's go ahead and sew the regular straight dart, and then I'll show you how to change the other 2 darts into curved darts. Okay, so in sewing a regular dart, of course we start at the wide end of the dart and put our needle in, and we can go ahead and backstitch here because this will be in the seam. Okay, and then just go ahead and follow your line, and then about your last 2 or 3 stitches should be right into the fold. Okay, then you're going to take it out. Let's go ahead and cut off our threads, and then here at the bottom, see how we've got that nice and straight? And then here at the bottom where we just barely go off, the last few stitches are right off the edge. Then I'm going to take the threads at the bottom, and I'm going to tie a double knot here, square knot, right over left, left over right. Whoops. And then I usually do it a couple times. Right over left and left over right. Okay, once I get that done, then I just cut my thread about, I usually leave it about 1/4 inch, and then I cut that off. Okay, I will iron them after we get all of them done. Okay, now let's go to one of the other creases that we have. And I went ahead and chalked in a regular dart, and then I went down to the middle and I went out 1/8 inch. And this one is called a convex dart. And what I'm going to do now is, instead of sewing just a straight line here, I'm actually going to sew down, and then I'm going to go out to match that 1/8 inch where I've gone out. So I'm going to curve out, and then I'm going to come back in closer to the bottom and again sew off the edge. So this is the kind of dart where you would use in an area where you want to take in a little bit extra fabric at the middle of the dart. So it would be for a hollow area of your body, because I'm trying to take a little bit extra fabric into the dart right in the middle to make a more defined part of your body. Where we use this the most would be right under the bust, where you kind of have a hollow, and if you want it to be quite fitted, you would take some of that fabric and take it out or put it into the dart to curve it. So let's go ahead and sew that. Okay. Alright, so we start like normal, and I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. So back stitch, and then go ahead and just kind of go like you're going on your normal straight dart, and then I'm going to do needle down here so it'll stay down, and then kind of start to curve out. Okay, and then as you get closer to the bottom, you want to go ahead and curve back in. It almost feels like you're doing an S shape, and then when you get down to the bottom, just slowly go off the fabric. Okay, so let's see how we did there. Let me get off our threads. And can you see how I did that? Now I went straight. I should have started curving a little bit sooner. But can you see how I curved it out and then came back in? Okay, now sometimes that dart is a little hard to press, so sometimes we put a little clip in it. Okay, so I'm now doing the concave. I've gone into from the straight dart, I've gone inside the dart, 1/8 of an inch in the middle, and I'm going to concave it so that I have extra room in the middle of the dart to go over a bulge. And usually this works in the abdomen. There's a little bulge there on your tummy, so this seems to help give you a little extra fabric to go around that. So I start at the 1/2 inch at the top, and I'm just going to go in, and I'm going to pull that in 1/8 of an inch, and then you have to come back and make your dart the same length so it gets really skinny at the bottom. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, very good. Okay, can you see how it curves in right here? So I curved in here about 1/8 of an inch, and then I just maintained it down to the bottom. So we have our concave that comes out, our straight, and then our convex. So I don't know if I said that right. This one is the convex, where it comes out 1/8 of an inch in the middle. This one is your regular straight angled dart. And then this one is the concave, where it comes in. You can see how there's extra room there. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to iron these. So let's go over to the iron. Okay, so now we're going to press the darts. We press them over a tailor's ham because it looks like a ham, and you might want to eat it, but don't. It's sawdust. And this is curved just like our bodies, so that's why we do that. We're creating shape with darts. So now the worst thing we could do is to iron it totally straight and take all the shape out. So we want to keep the shape in the dart. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press the dart as I sewed it. So I'm just going to press it like this. And notice how I'm careful not to press below the dart and not make a crease. Well, I've already got a crease because that's how we do our sample. Here, maybe I'll take that out. There, crease gone. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find a spot on the tailor's ham where it actually kind of fits like as if it was a body, and then I'm going to turn my dart towards center front or center back. Well, on the sample, there is no center back or center front, so just turn it one direction or the other. Okay, so I've got that one done. Now I'm going to come over to my concave dart, and I'm going to press that first as I sewed it. Now I will tell you one thing, if you chalk it and you press it, your chalk might stay in permanently. I'm not worried about this, it's a sample. If this was my garment, I would try and get that chalk out first. And also, or make sure it's not showing on the right side. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find another spot again on my tailor's ham, and then I'm just going to go ahead and press that. Okay, so see how nice and flat that looks. And on the right side of the garment, you don't want a pucker on the bottom. That's why you come off the edge. Their last couple of stitches are just barely on the edge. So see how that looks nice and there's no puckers or anything there. See, now, if this was the right side of my garment, I would have a press cloth here. Okay, now let's do the convex. It's a little bit trickier. So I'm going to press it like it was sewn, just like that. And now I'm going to open it up and try and get it to lay flat. And it may not lay flat because I've taken kind of a chunk there. If that's the case, then I've got to do a clip right here in the middle of the, I'm going to do a couple of clips right here in the middle of that dart so that when I try to open that up, it will open up that dart so that I can lay it flat. So let's go ahead and find a spot now here where I can do that, and you can see how it kind of opens up those clips. And there, now I press it, and I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so let's, we can go to the front on that one as well, and you can see how nice and flat that lays. And I have got my 3 darts all finished. I've got my standard straight angled dart, I've got my convex, and I have my concave. And there you have it, curved darts for a curved body.